The internal organs, nerve endings respond spontaneously and give rise to the 5 animals reaction. This is the tiger movement, a reaction to the cleansing of the lungs. As Shifu Qigong injects his healing energy directly into the patient's spinal cord, it increases the breathing capacity and vibrations of the vocal cord. It also triggers the rapid contraction of finger muscles. The visual result is a roaring, clawing tiger or tigress. Here, Shifu Qigong's healing Qi energy is cleansing out all the negative energy of the kidneys. This strange reaction appears when different muscle groups along both sides of the spinal cord contract and relax. This creates the clumsiness and the tumbling actions of the big bear. When the healing Qi energy enters the liver and its meridian, it triggers rapid muscular contractions of the nerve endings along the leg's energy channel. This reaction creates fast, rapid stamping leg movements, which resemble those of a running deer. It doesn't need much introduction to this weird reaction. This is the bird, which is related to the heart organ. As the heart creates emotions, people who have undergone the bird movements are subjected to very strong spiritual reactions. They all want to fly away, happily and peacefully. This is the monkey. The healing energy is flushing through the spleen and its meridian. It is very interesting to see how these people are all leaping and rolling and generally behaving like a monkey.
I've had these big changes that I mentioned to you.
Yes.
with stopping smoking. I've been a heavy smoker for so many years. That's very much surprised me. I can get through quite a lot. Yes, I lose count. Let's say I have been something of a chimney. I've been aware of that, and that there's this healing going on, and that the smoking is interfering with that. I felt aware that I just had to stop. I'm astonished.
Right.
I feel I've got that level of relaxation that I didn't have before. That I could stop smoking since I started this Qigong healing.
When I was 18, I experienced cocaine. Cocaine meaning it's not only cocaine but crack as well. And when I experienced Qigong for the first time, the next day I feel the withdrawal symptoms 2 times, 3 times as strong. I think, yes, I'm gonna try and progress from this. And I'll go to the Qigong again slowly. I'll get a little better at the Qigong. The Qigong, the faith started to build up slowly. And my body and my personality started to come back to myself very slowly. My big drug problem is, my recovery from my big drug problem is wholly down to Qigong. most definitely say.
I've been a taxi driver for 8 years now. Since I started, I was having hands, stiff neck, just, you know, general stiffness in the arms, spine, my posture was very bad, sciatica as well. I've been doing Shaolin Qigong healing for a number of years now. I feel a whole lot better. I can just summon the energy to the point where I'm having problems, and you know, it will just kind of give it a little hit and it clears it. From personal experience, I can say it's changed my life.
When I was I'm on the dust, I was lifting heavy objects and I've sort of pulled my back, and I've got a sciatica on there, and that's kind of like helping it out. It's like softening it up a bit, making it less painful. That's what Qigong does for me. It helps me out. It starts feeling relaxed, all my muscles and that start loosening up.
I had arthritis for a really long time, since I was 17, and the first couple of times we did it, I got into it fairly quickly, and afterwards we felt so kind of clear, and everything felt really sharp, and it was almost as if you'd had your brain washed out with soap and water and you walked outside feeling really, gosh, everything's clear again, you know, felt really healthy. Training, you actually strengthening the internal ligaments, and that's been incredibly good for my joints, and I don't get arthritis at all anymore.
I've also suffered from a lot of back problems over the years, with a combination of injuries and sort of rheumatic, arthritic problems. It's difficult to sort of, I mean, those are more kind of subtle effects, and it's difficult to evaluate those, but the physical results have certainly been, you know, quite profound, really. I definitely felt some physical benefits, and I suspect some possibly quite kind of emotional and psychological changes and beneficial changes. Well, I've actually suffered a lot less pain, back pain. I had quite severe back pain prior to coming here, which sometimes was worse than others. But since doing Qigong, that does seem to have subsided quite a lot.
Shoulder from playing rugby at school, and I mean, I'd given up virtually sort of all hope of having sort of my shoulder mobility back. I mean, my shoulder used to really sort of click, and you know, the strength, the sort of former strength in the shoulder was gone, because it was a really chronic problem that had been that had affected me for a few years. I tried it out, and after a while I felt sort of a real heat right inside my joint capsule. Now, I mean, you can't have that, you know, just by sort of touching someone. There must be something else involved, and you know, especially for something right inside the joint. And you know, after sort of doing more Qigong sessions, my shoulder, you know, sort of started to move more and more violently, and you know, as it went on, the mobility and the strength was just, you know, coming back to my shoulder. It was like sort of accelerated physiotherapy, if you like.
Following the treatment of his sports injury, Dr. Turin witnessed Shifu Shidilon's treatment of a multiple sclerosis patient who, after only 6 weeks, was able to run upstairs. Dr. Turin subsequently wrote an article about Shaolin Qigong healing. The article prompted an independent newspaper reporter to experience Shaolin Qigong healing for herself. She was so impressed that she wrote this newspaper article.
Why do you do Qigong? So I let the energy that I built up inside me work for me against my illness that I do have, which is multiple sclerosis. And every time I do come here, I always leave. I always run, actually, away. It sounds funny, but I do. Yeah. It's the energy that's cleaning me up inside. It's doing the after effect, like two sides, MS on one side and energy on the other side, the fighting. And the chi is winning. Slowly, sure. Yeah, it feels good. So when I come down, I said this before as well, 6-7 weeks ago, when I come downstairs here, it's not like running down. When I finish, I'm running up. There is something there. Yeah. Amazing.
Yes, I came for the Qigong healing before I'd actually cleared the hepatitis B virus, which I contracted at a clinic, and I found the healing very helpful, and I found that the exercises were commensurate with my capability to exercise, and it gave me a lot of... Well, I find that in the Qigong healing, my body exercises the areas that need exercising, so it's a little bit painful. It gently exercises the hips, so when my shoulders are a bit painful, it gently teases out the muscle shoulders. So I feel it's somehow equal, it meets my needs, it meets the needs of my body to exercise those areas that need relaxation and work on them.
Just make sure that, these point. Just like this one.
It's on
That's on the arm.
Yeah.
See that?
Because you have blockages there.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
blockages there.
Yeah, and this point as well.
On the
Just
front.
have it. That one is painful.
Yeah. I mean, it'll come with time, just working on it and stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, it's...
your legs are very warm and there's a lot of colour in them.
There
It's
is
a good sign, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you feel better in yourself anyway, don't you?
Yeah,
that's good. I mean...
After 8 weeks of intensive Shaolin Qigong healing with Shifu Shi Dilong, this motor neuron sufferer has regained some control over his motor neuron functions.
So give us a lot of time. Good. So you're happy with that? Perfect record?
Yep.
No, don't use hand. Push 1, 2, 3.
Seen here, he is now pushing his right leg at his own accord.
5.
At this point, Shifu Shi Dilong would like to say that although there are some improvements, there is still a long, long way to go before full recovery is achieved. Dr. Turin has been following this case with great interest. All Qigong healers treat physiological disorders, but few are able to treat psychological disorders. These film records testify that Shifu Shi Dilong is a very powerful and well-trained Shaolin Qigong healer. Warning: the following scenes contain materials which may be disturbing to children and those with mental health problems. It is recommended that they leave the room now. This footage has no foundation in superstition or religion. It is simply the violent reaction of the human subconscious to the negative energy released by Shaolin Qigong healing.
Yeah.